you're hearing. Thank you. Well, that touches my heart. Thank you, Gil, to be able to have that great introduction is an honor. I appreciate that. Thank you for the warm welcome also. The music you were hearing was from the Olympic Games, actually, in 2002, so it touched my heart. It was great listening to Bill Bennett. Isn't he a treasure? That guy is amazing. He is. I could listen to Papa Bear all day long. You know that? He's just wonderful. I want to say that it's good to see you as well. Seeing friends and leaders of the conservative movement from across the country is something that warms my heart. You know, only about a year ago, there were quite a few people in this city who were ready to write off this conservative movement. They were enthralled by Barack Obama's promise of near biblical transformations. Their legs were tingling. He spoke majestically, framed by Greek columns. Well, he can spin a speech, but he can't spin his record. And I'll bet you never dreamed that you'd look back at Jimmy Carter as the good old days. Now, I've had the pleasure of attending the Values Voters Summit every year since 2004. I know what brings us together is our allegiance to important and enduring values. The security of our country, the defense of freedom in the world, the success and power of the free enterprise system, and the fundamental rights of every single person, including the right to life itself. These are the causes that unite us, and they inspire us for the work we have ahead. We know that America has always endured a chorus of critics, people who claim that every ill, every failure in the world is America's fault. But it's never before had a president that was conducting that chorus. You may have seen, he told Arab TV that America has dictated to other nations. No, Mr. President. America has freed other nations from dictators. You saw as well that he told Europeans that America has been arrogant, dismissive, and derisive. No, Mr. President, in defending liberty, America has been diligent, dedicated, and decisive. My guess is you're like me. When an American president journeys abroad, it's always nice to see him applauded and praised. But when the price for that adoration is one apology after another for alleged offenses of the United States of America, it is not worth it. Frankly, I'd rather see a president greeted abroad by complete silence, as long as he is defending our country's character and not playing to our country's critics. I think all of you in this room understand that these are times that call for a strong America. China's on track to become the largest economy in the world. Russia, under Putin, is edging back to its old totalitarian ways, killing journalists, harassing political enemies, invading a sovereign neighbor. Jihadists murder and threaten innocent people in countries around the world, and they plot to attack us here at our home as well. The regime in North Korea sacrifices its own people to serve its nuclear ambitions. The regime in Iran, moving fast to develop a nuclear weapon. And all the while, our own economy is reeling and our debts are becoming astronomical. Let me say it again. These are times that call for a strong America. We know the source of America's strength. It's the citizens of this country and all that free people can achieve. Free, hardworking, family-oriented, risk-taking, opportunity-seeking, patriotic American people have always been the source of this nation's strength, and they always will be. And here in Washington, the best policies are those policies that expand the freedoms of individuals, that broaden their opportunities. that allow individuals to keep more of what they earn, that afford them better education, that let them choose their own health care, and that turn loose the free enterprise system so that it can create jobs. What President Obama has done these last 8 months, and what he's proposing to do over the coming 3 years, would not strengthen America. It would weaken America. His so-called stimulus is a case in point. The president said that it was going to be an immediate boost. He'd hold, with this boost, unemployment below 8% and restore the economy and create jobs. It hasn't done that. Rather than bring back the economy, it brought back 30 years of failed liberal programs. And he rushed it through before anyone could even notice. But we did notice. And we are not impressed. The economy is still shrinking, even as the government is still growing. Unemployment blew past 8%. It's on its way to 10% now. That's millions and millions more Americans out of work. Not one new job has been created. You know, the numbers of Americans opposing the Obama agenda is growing. The voters are going to make their intention clear in the 2010 elections. And that's a public option I agree with, by the way. The president's spending and borrowing have also weakened the nation. In the month of July alone, he added $330 billion to the national deficit. And his plan is to add another $1 trillion in debt every year he's in office. He initially admitted that the cumulative deficit would swell by $7 trillion over the next 10 years. Now he acknowledges that the real number is $9 trillion. He would double our national debt in just 5 years. Those deficits, combined with the liabilities we have for entitlements, threaten to cause a global collapse of confidence in America and in the dollar itself, and to precipitate an even deeper financial crisis. And putting such a spirit-crushing, back-breaking debt burden on our children is unworthy of our national character. And that is why I believe that spending and borrowing is not just economically irresponsible, it is morally wrong. You know, to strengthen the economy and to create jobs, the president has to stop trying to borrow the country out of a debt problem. You know, I know there are people who are now talking about another stimulus bill for the economy. That's the wrong answer. The right answer is to fix the stimulus we have, throw out the liberal big government programs, and substitute real incentives that will stimulate the private sector and actually create real jobs. Don't repeat the stimulus, repair the stimulus. Taking more money away from working Americans would also make us a weaker nation. Candidate Obama promised not to raise our taxes by one dime for people making less than $250,000 a year. But you saw, and I approve of that comment. Yeah, you know, his cap and trade program just demolished that promise. The Obama team had secretly calculated the cost of that plan. It would cost the average American family $1,761 a year, the equivalent to a 15% income tax hike. It would kill jobs in this country. And because it simply moves greenhouse gas emitters from America to other nations like China, it wouldn't do a thing to affect climate change. Now, Democrats keep talking about climate change, but I think they're confusing global warming with the heat they've been taking at the town halls.